Hello everyone, my name is Tuman. Today I'm very happy to be here to write the speech by myself. Now, now we have mm, today about Wall Street and Sentence Trade, and that we are the speak unit. Today we today I will write it about the speak unit and how to read the sentences with intonation and make the story or make a sentence more fluently and more beautifully. Yeah. First of all, I will in my record I will divide my record for two parts. Part one, I will um, write about the sentences about the lesson that I have learned in my class. And part two, I will listening in YouTube. I would like to write it about the listening because sometimes I meet um, foreigners or I heard a new in YouTube. I can't understand what they say, so now I have to write it day by day by listen to the radio or listen to the YouTube to make I to make me um know really about English. Yes. Now let's start. There was a young boy. There was a young boy who liked games. He liked cards, dice, and all guessing game. And all guessing game. There was a young boy who liked it. There was a young boy who liked it. He liked cards, dice, and all guessing game. One day he said to his sister, "Yes, how many coins I've got in my pocket? How many coins I've got in my pocket?" The little boy, the boy sister said, "If I get right, will you give me one of them?" The boy, who were very bright, he were not very bright, replied, "If you get it right, I, I give you both of them. I, I, I give you both of them." His sister, who was clever, won the two coins, of course. Now again, and that was a young boy. That was a young boy. That was his young boy. That was his young boy who liked games, who likes games, who liked games, who liked games. He liked, he liked cards, cards, dice, and own guessing game, and own guessing game. One day, he said to his sister, He said to his sister. One day, he said to his sister, guess how many coins I've got in my pocket. I've got in I've got in my pocket. The boy's sister the boy's sister said, if I get right, will you give me one of them? If I get right, will you give me one of them? The boy who were not very right replied, if you get it right, I give you both of them. His sister, who was clever, won the two coins, of course. Now, with the number two, yes, Sarah went to the doctor. Sheila, Sheila went to the doctor to complain about pants in her hand. Complain about pants in her hand. Sarah went to the doctor. Sarah went to the doctor. Sarah went to the doctor to complain about her pants. To complain about pants in her hand. To complain about pants in her hand. The doctor suggested that they should have an operation. Sarah said, if I have the operation, will I be able to tie with my own finger? Yes, of course, replied the doctor. Great, said Sarah. I've never been able to do that before. I've never been able to do that before. Sarah went to the doctor to complain about pains in her hand. The doctor suggested that she should have an operation. Sarah said, if I have the question, if I have the operation, if I have the operation, will I able to tie it on my finger? Yes, of course, replied the doctor. Great, said Sarah. I never been able to do that before. High Street highlight the main street in the sentences. What do you do? 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 I'm a student. I'm a student. I'm a student. Me too. What do you study? Modern language. Modern languages. Modern languages. All right. And where are you studying? Here? Where are you studying? Where are you studying? Where are you studying? Here? Not here. No. So where do you study? Where do you study? Where do you study? In fact, Malfat, what you what you do, where you study, what about you? I'm learn Leeds University. I am at Leeds University. Friends running on sharp and shine. There may be someone we meet as a child, a classmate at school, some we meet at work, and two other friends. There are there may be friends who live in the distance in another country, or virtual friends we met online. Whoever they are, however we meet them. There is a special connection based on a shared history and interested interact, enjoy doing things together, or seem like talking or understanding about each other. Friends are are friends are the how of difficult time to celebrate the good time. Doctors say that friends are very important for both our physical and mental health at all stages in life. Now we have the next part by um, listening.
The meanings that you intend to convey. Also, it will help you understand when people use different types of intonation, because when we change the intonation, it also changes the meaning in English. And I will be using this in today's lesson. So today's video has been sponsored by Cambridge University Press, and they have also gifted me one of their books as well to show you and to take one of their lessons and do it with you. So we're going to be taking a lesson from their advanced book today and doing it together about intonation. So if you're looking for a self-study resource, I always recommend the Cambridge pronunciation in use books. Always, always, always. They have an elementary, they have an intermediate and an advanced version. If you're looking to learn about the sounds and the very basics, like the fundamentals of pronunciation, I highly recommend you go with the elementary or intermediate. But if you're familiar already with the sounds and the fundamentals and you want to go more in depth and you want to talk about things like stress, intonation, I mean, I'll insert a little clip here of the contents and you can see a little bit in some pages, but you can see that it goes into a lot more detail compared to other books. I use this book a lot with my private students, and also when I first started teaching and I was learning more about pronunciation and the rules and things like that. Of course, I knew a lot of things from my degree because I studied linguistics, but this here really, really helped kind of understand a lot of the rules, the reasons why I was doing certain things when I was speaking, like why am I using that kind of stress, or why am I using this intonation? What does it mean when I do that? Because I knew why I was doing it, but I didn't know why and the meaning, and it helped me teach quite a lot. So yes, I need to thank Cambridge University Press actually, because they've helped me a lot. They don't even realise. I really strongly recommend these books if you're looking for some kind of self-study resource. They do come with downloadable audio as well, so you can practice your listening, but also as it's pronunciation based, having the audios is key to help you improve your pronunciation too. So I'm going to be using part of this book in the lesson today. We're going to go through some examples together, we're going to practice together, and then we're going to go through some exercises together. And if you're interested in these books and you want to go and check them out and get yourself a copy, I will leave all the links in the description for you to check out. Can never say that, for you to check out. Okay, so let's focus on the first one here. So we've got this text, right? And as you can see, there are parts which are in capital letters, and this shows where our stress goes, okay? This is how the book represents stress. So you've got you'll arrive, for example, okay? You'll arrive, the stress goes on arrive. Then you've got these little arrows. These arrows indicate where our intonation goes. Does it rise or does it fall? Okay. Then you've got these little lines, these kind of dashes, and these basically show the end of a speech unit. So you've got speech units, which I've not talked yet about on my channel, but I will do in the future. You've got these little speech units. They're like sections of speech before you have a little pause. So every time you get these two little lines, it's basically a very short pause. So I'm going to read through this. Actually, you know what? Let me just zoom in slightly. Oh, you know what? My editor could do it. Editor, sneaky, can you like zoom in, please? What I'm going to do is read through it, and then you can listen. And then what I'd like you to do is just listen and repeat. After that, I'd also like you to think, why do you think the intonation is changing? What's the rule? Can you notice something? Okay, so let's read through it first. You'll arrive at Central Station. When you get off the train, turn left along the platform. At the end of the platform, there's an escalator. Go up it, and you'll be in the main square. There's a fountain in the square, and I'll be waiting for you there. So I'm going to read it once more, but I'm going to pause after each speech unit, and I'd like you to listen and repeat. Okay, let's go. You'll arrive at Central Station. When you get off the train, turn left along the platform. At the end of the platform, there's an escalator. Watch out for that word. Escalator. Not escu
Đi con,
or
về
esca,
đi lễ con.
but escalator.
Về đi lễ là đi với mình.
Go up it, and you'll be in the main square. There's a fountain, or fountain, yeah, fountain in the square, and I'll be waiting for you there. So if you're still struggling with the tones, don't worry, we're going to sort that out in a moment. We're going to fix that because I know my private students struggle with the tones quite a lot. We're going to fix it, don't worry. Firstly though, notice the rule. Any idea what the rule is? Well,
Bạn là ai trong hai kiểu người này? Tuấn Anh và Thái Anh đều cùng học tiếng Anh.
if we scroll down a little bit, if I scroll down a little bit here, we can see that if we use a falling tone when we're speaking, especially when we're giving information, I should say, it tends to be when we're adding news. So our intonation goes down when we're saying something new. If, however, our intonation goes up, it rises, then it indicates that we're sharing something old, that it's not news, that it's not new to the listener. So if it falls, it's new information, and if it rises, then it is old information. So let's just have another little practice, because I know that especially when I do these lessons with intonation with my private students, they struggle a little bit with the tones. So what I want you to imagine is every time we get an arrow that goes up, imagine you're kind of asking a question. So it's like, you'll arrive when you get off the train, go up it in the square, okay? And it goes up like this, like you're asking a question. All the others, where the intonation goes down, you're just going to say it with that falling intonation. It's just going to fall. So at Central Station, turn left along the platform. There's an escalator. It goes down like this, okay? Let's have a practice. So again, I will say each speech unit. I will pause for a moment. If you need more time, pause the video, rewind, do whatever you need to do to practice, but listen and repeat. You'll arrive. Imagine you're asking that question. You'll arrive at Central Station. At Central Station. When you get off the train. When you get off the train, turn left along the platform. Turn left along the platform. At the end of the platform, at the end of the platform, there's an escalator. There's an escalator. Go up it. Go up it. And you'll be in the main square. And you'll be in the main square. There's a fountain. There's a fountain in the square. In the square. And I'll be waiting for you there. And I'll be waiting for you there. So now we've gone through that, we understand the rules and everything. Let's take a look at this part here. So this is taking the text, but just shortening it down to a shorter example, basically. So we've got here, see you on Saturday. B says, but I'll be in London at the weekend. More naturally, but I'll be in London at the weekend. But I'll be in London at the weekend. You see how it goes down on London and then up again at the weekend? So with London, we know that London is new information. That's why our intonation is falling. The weekend goes up because A, already mentioned Saturday. We know that we're talking about the weekend. This is not new information for the listener. So you can see here we've got exercise 1. This is actually a listening exercise. We're not going to do this one together in this video. We're actually going to jump down to this one here and we're going to do this one together. So what we're going to do is read through each of them. We're going to do them together. You can pause the video at any moment if you want more time or if you want to do them yourself and then play more of the video and check your answers later and do it together with me. But what we're going to do is read through each of these, and I'd like you to decide whether you think in each of the speech units the intonation rises or it falls. So as you can see in the example, and this book is great because it always gives examples when it gives the activities. You've got the example, where on earth did you find that? Where on earth did you find that? I came across it in an antique shop. So in an antique shop gives us new information. So the intonation is going to fall here. I came across it is basically repeating, I found it. And the person asked, where on earth did you find that? And they're saying, I found it. I came across it. So the intonation goes up to show that this is not new intonation. It's not new information, I should say. The new information is in the antique shop. So take a look at the other ones. What you can do is pause the video now, have a go at doing these, and then you can check back, or we can do them together. If you want to do them together, then let's go and do it now. So the first one, what time shall we leave? We could go now as you're ready. We could go now as you're ready. So we could go now is basically answering the question. It's giving us that new information. And remember, new information falls and old information rises. Okay? So we could go now as you're ready. We could go now as you're ready. Number 2, what time did David get back? Again, have a think. What's important here? What's new here? What's new information? New information always falls. So I heard him come in at about 3. I heard him come in. What time did he get back? He got back. You're basically repeating the question, aren't you, at that point? I heard him come in at about 3. I'm not sure his plan would work very well. I thought his suggestion was ridiculous. I thought his suggestion was ridiculous. So our intonation is going to fall on was ridiculous, because here we're answering the question, or we're not really answering a question here. We're kind of giving some new information by saying, I thought his suggestion. We're not really saying anything. We're just saying, I thought his suggestion. Thought his suggestion was what? You know, we're not saying anything new, but was ridiculous. We're giving some new information. So, I thought his suggestion was ridiculous. Number 4. The hall was packed, wasn't it? Tag question there, careful. The hall was packed, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I hate it when it's so crowded. I hate it when it's so crowded. So I hate it is going to go down when it's so crowded. Crowded, we've already mentioned that it was packed. Okay? Packed is the same as crowded. It's busy. There are loads and loads of people there. So the crowded part is redundant. It's repeated, not new information. I hate it is new information. Number 5. I wouldn't mind some orange juice if you've got any. I wouldn't mind some orange juice if you've got any. So I wouldn't mind some orange juice is the part that's answering. If you've got any. It's just a little polite thing in there. It's not adding new or old information here, really. It's just redundant. So if it's redundant and it's not important and it's not adding any new information, rise. And then the last one, I could move that easily. Well, why don't you try if you think you're so strong? Well, why don't you try if you think you're so strong? So the same as what's happened with the other sentences. If you think you're so strong, here is not new information because the other person just said, I could move that easily. So they already think that they're quite strong. So here it's old information, therefore it rises. The new information here is, why don't you try? Yeah, it's going to fall because it's new information. And that's it for this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've learned something new about intonation. If you would like more lessons about intonation, there is a full section all about intonation in this book, and it's quite a big, intensive section. It also talks, as I mentioned, about sentence stress, different things like that. If you are...
Yes, I think that's enough.